Join me as I dive deep into the ancient secrets of digital cameras and try to unlock some hidden features that most people don't even know exist. In this video, you will uncover the fascinating history and secrets behind digital cameras, linking ancient techniques to today's technology. Many people take digital photography for granted, unaware of the rich history and challenges that shaped the technology we use today. When you think about it, most of us are guilty of snapping away without a second thought, completely oblivious to the centuries of innovation that have led to the cameras in our hands today. Photography has come a long way, and it's crazy to think that it's been over 200 years in the making. From the first experiments with light to the high-tech devices we have today, there's a fascinating story waiting to be told. And it's time we give credit where credit is due, to the pioneers who paved the way for the photography we know and love today. The earliest cameras were basically just boxes with a hole in them, but from those humble beginnings, we've gone on to develop some of the most sophisticated technology on the planet. It's a journey that's taken us from the earliest days of science to the cutting-edge tech of today, and it's a story that's full of twists and turns. But despite all the advances we've made, there's still so much we can learn from the past, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. One of the most interesting things about the history of photography is the way it's been shaped by the intersection of art and science. From the earliest experiments with light and shadow, to the latest advances in digital imaging, photography has always been a place where creativity meets technology. And that's what makes it so fascinating. The fact that we're still pushing the boundaries of what's possible today is a testament to the power of human ingenuity. Explore the evolution of photography from early pinhole cameras to the complex sensors and software in modern devices, highlighting key inventions and innovations along the way. The first cameras were basically just pinholes in a box, but it wasn't long before we started to get more sophisticated. The first real camera was invented by Joseph Nicephore Niepce in the early 1800s, and from there, things started to take off. We got the daguerreotype, the wet plate collodion process, and eventually the first film cameras. And then of course came the digital revolution, which is where we'll pick up the story today. One of the most important inventions in the history of photography is the charged coupled device, or CCD. This tiny piece of technology is what allows our cameras to capture images digitally, and it's been instrumental in shaping the photography we know today. But the CCD is just one of many innovations that have helped to push the boundaries of what's possible with photography. From the first autofocus lenses to the latest advances in artificial intelligence, there's been a steady stream of innovations that have changed the game. As we move forward in time, it's amazing to see how these early innovations have paved the way for the photography we know today. From the earliest experiments with light to the latest advances in digital imaging, it's been a wild ride, and one that's far from over. As we look to the future, it's exciting to think about what's still to come, and how the secrets of the past will continue to shape the technology of tomorrow. Reveal the moment when ancient techniques were reimagined to revolutionize photography, showcasing an unexpected connection that changed everything. One of the most surprising things about the history of photography is the way it's been influenced by ancient techniques. Take, for example, the principle of the camera obscura, a technique that's been around for thousands of years. This ancient principle, which involves projecting an image onto a surface using a small hole or lens, is actually the basis for modern photography as we know it today. But the connection to ancient techniques goes even deeper than that. Did you know, for example, that the first lenses were actually inspired by ancient Greek optics? It's true. The principles of refraction and reflection that we use in modern lenses were first described by ancient Greek philosophers like Aristotle. And it's not just optics. The principle of the pinhole camera, which is still used today, was first described by the Chinese philosopher Mozi over 2,000 years ago. As we explore the history of photography, it's amazing to see how these ancient techniques have been reimagined and reinterpreted over time. From the earliest experiments with light to the latest advances in digital imaging, it's been a journey that's deeply rooted in the past. And yet, despite the many advances we've made, there's still so much we can learn from the ancient techniques that came before us. The connection between ancient techniques and modern photography is a fascinating one, and one that's full of surprises. Take, for example, the work of the ancient Greek mathematician Euclid, who wrote one of the most influential books on optics in history. His work, on the principles of reflection and refraction, laid the groundwork for modern lenses, and yet, it was written over 2,000 years ago. So what's the takeaway from all of this? For one, it's clear that the history of photography is a rich and fascinating one, and one that's deeply rooted in the past. By understanding the ancient techniques and principles that have shaped modern photography, we can gain a new appreciation for the technology we use today. So what's your favorite photography tip or technique? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the future of photography technology, be sure to check out my next video, where I'll be exploring the cutting-edge innovations that are changing the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.